disappointing road trip, the Twins have returned home to Target Field, where they hope to continue their success against the Detroit Tigers. If there was not any sense of urgency before, there is now. The Twins lead in the division down to a half game over Detroit, and the White Sox lurking just a game and a half out of first place. And welcome home to Target Field. Bert Lylov and Dick Raymer, the Twins sure are glad to be here. The highlight of the season so far, probably the three-game sweep of the Twins over the Detroit Tigers, and to no one's surprise, that came here where they played well.
Well, you know what? Every team would like to play better on the road. Well, it hasn't worked for the Minnesota Twins. 18-21 on the road. They'll, of course, have not scored as many runs. The pitching staff has not pitched as well on the road as they have here. So good to be back here at Target Field. A lot of guys have had good success here. Hopefully it will continue as they're 23-13 here at Target Field.
Nothing wrong with the Twins that a good homestand wouldn't cure. Nothing wrong with the Twins that better starting pitching wouldn't cure. And one of their best, Francisco Liriano, going tonight.
Yeah, Liriano only pitched once on that road trip, and it was an okay start. He was only able to go 5 innings because he was pinch hit for in a National League game. Very good numbers for Liriano against the Detroit Tigers. He needs to attack the strike zone like he's been doing. You can see the very good 3.11 ERA making his 15th start. Only 25 walks and 100 strikeouts for Liriano. That's been his key. He has attacked the strike zone very nicely.
And so throughout this 3-game series, the Twins hope to regain some momentum in this series. We'll see probably the 2 best first basemen in the league.
Drives one to right field. Gone.
Welcome to Twins Baseball on Fox Sports North. I'm Robbie Mikowski. Tonight we're going to see 2 of the premier first basemen that baseball has to offer. Justin Morneau of the Minnesota Twins, Miguel Cabrera of the Detroit Tigers. Let's take it to each guy's hometown. First, we go to New Westminster, British Columbia, a suburb of Vancouver, about 20 minutes away. That is where Justin Morneau is from. he is a huge Vancouver Canucks fan. Let's go to the other end of the world, more than 4,000 miles southeast to Maracay, Venezuela. That is home to Miguel Cabrera, home of the American League's leader in home runs. He's got 20. And look at both of these numbers that these guys are putting up amongst the leaders in average, homers, and RBI. Both guys triple crown threats. Here is Morneau and Cabrera on one another.
I think early he got a lot of big home runs off of closers and that kind of thing to either tie games or put them ahead. And he plays in a pretty big park, and he's got tied for the league leading homers and leading the league in RBIs. He can go to left center. He easily can go to right center, and he's a dangerous hitter.
Baseman, great guy too. So we're looking forward to talk to him. Sometimes we talk about hitting, but I don't say nothing about hitting about him because I don't wanna he do something with us. But we kind of like good friends. Like we got like good talk. But I got a lot of respect to him because he played the game right. He's one of the best hitting and best guy in baseball right now.
Enjoy this matchup tonight with Morneau and Cabrera. Francisco Liriano takes to the mound. First pitch, Twins Tigers. Next.
Here's Google lifting one high and deep down the right field line. Gone! A home run.
And the Twins will send Michael Kadire out to third base. First time he's played there at Target Field. And the Twins, who not that long ago had a 4.5 game lead over the Tigers, now have seen the Tigers come back at them and are within a half game. The winner of this game will be the first place team in the American League Central. Jim Leyland saw the Tigers get swept here back in early May. Here's the Menards batting order for Detroit. They're at the end of a long road trip. Austin Jackson leading things off. Ramon Santiago hitting second. Ryan Rayburn third. Maglio Ordonez was scratched about an hour before the game. Miguel Cabrera. Brennan Bosch has been the best rookie in the league so far. Carlos Guillen, Brandon Inge, Gerald Laird, and Danny Wirth.
And a Chief scouting report on Francisco Liriano making his 15th start of the year, looking for his 7th win. 11 of his 14 starts have been quality starts, and one of those quality starts, 8 shutout innings against the Tigers back here in April, where the Twins beat the Tigers and Justin Verlander 2-0. And very good strikeout to walk ratio. 100 strikeouts, only 25 walks for Liriano in 92 2/3 innings pitched.
This is one of those nights we dreamt about when we were at the Metrodome, being outdoors for baseball on a beautiful summer night in Minnesota. Here's Austin Jackson. First pitch foul to the screen.
And I think that's what you'll see the Tigers do a lot of against Liriano. Look for that first pitch fastball, because they will be swinging. They do not want to get into that slider or circle changeup type of situation.
And Jackson smoked by a fastball, and he'll go to first base. When Liriano last pitched here, he had a very rugged and ragged first inning, giving up 3 runs to the Rockies.
Well, I see he wants to go inside right here, but just a little bit too far, and gets the left knee area of Austin Jackson. So the speedster at first base, 13 stolen bases on 15 attempts.
Here is Ramon Santiago.
Santiago just put in the lineup late when Ordonez was scratched from the lineup.
Santiago bunts it. It's a good bunt. And it's going to be a base hit for Santiago. So the Twins don't field the sacrifice bunt. And the Tigers have runners at first and second with nobody out.
Well, that's Liriano's ball right there. And for some reason, Justin did not go back to the bag. Watch his bunt right here. Just takes it with him. Liriano, of course, his momentum makes him spin around, but that ball got by him. And it was Orlando Hudson, the second baseman, that came in. See, Justin really doesn't know where to go right there, and it's just too late.
Oh, rough start to the ball game here. Just a handful of pitches into the game, and the Tigers have a threat. First and second, nobody out, and here's Ryan Rayburn. Rayburn was supposed to hit second, but then Ordonez was scratched during batting practice. Apparent reoccurrence of an oblique or ribcage injury. Ball 1 to Rayburn. And so Rayburn drops down to third.
Rayburn looking down at Gene Lamont, the third base coach. He's a guy that can also bunt in this situation. Kadire is about even with the bag. He's hitting only .204.
And into left center field. Jackson had to hold up, so he'll only gain third base, and the Tigers fill the bases in front of Miguel Cabrera with nobody out.
A shaky start for Liriano. A hit batsman, a bunt single, and then a pitch that Rayburn lines right up the middle. See, Jackson kind of has to hold up. He has to make sure that ball gets through. Nick Punto comes up maybe a glove short of catching that line drive.
Well, if you're Michael Kadire right now at third base, you're glad the Twins don't have the infield in. Here is Cabrera. 64 runs batted in, 20 home runs, and a .332 batting average. The Twins don't want to face him in this situation too many times. They want to face guys like this with the bases empty, and here's Cabrera with the bases full.
Well, Cabrera 4 for 12 lifetime against Francisco Liriano with a home run. Liriano's been able to strike him out a couple times.
Swing and a miss. 1-1.
Not bad numbers right there with bases loaded. This guy is an RBI machine. Not only all the RBIs, he's a career .311 hitter coming into this year.
And Liriano gets strike 2. He is 6th in the American League in hitting, tied for the league lead in home runs, and leading the league in runs batted in.
Yeah, tied in home runs with Paul Konerko, who's having a very solid year with the White Sox. Well, Liriano needs a strikeout. We'll see what he feels his strikeout pitch is right here. A lot of times it's that slider down and in.
And it's lifted to left center field and deep. Off the warning track. Punto's throw to the plate. Not in time, and it's a 2-run double on a 1-2 pitch. And the Tigers have scored, are threatening to do more damage with no one out.
Yeah, it looked like a changeup right there, and Cabrera able to extend those arms and hits it to deep left center. Now it's a slider. Slider down, and Cabrera just kind of golfs this ball. I think he thought it was gone. One hops the fence. Span gets it back in. And it's a 2-run double for Miguel Cabrera. Now with 66 runs driven in.
And after all the slow starts on the road trip, the last thing Rick Anderson and Ron Gardenhire wanted or needed was for Liriano to put up a rough first inning. Quick trip to the mound by the Twins pitching coach. Twins defense brought to you by Northland Ford. Delman Young in left, and Art Span in center, Jason Kubel in right. Michael Cuddyer, Punto, Hudson, Morneau around the infield, Maurer behind the plate. Ron Gardenhire asked about whether this is going to be a permanent move, and he didn't commit to that, saying no, it is for tonight, is what he said. But it does give him the opportunity to get Jim Thome's bat in the lineup and not take Jason Kubel out.
Yeah, the Twins were gone for 9 games, and Jim Thome got only 5 at-bats, official at-bats, in those National League parks.
Well, the Twins, other than Cuddyer, is playing even with the bag at third and off the line. They're playing the infield back for Brennan Bosch. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, Bosch kind of came out of nowhere. Carlos Guillen was put on a disabled list in the latter part of April. Bosch came up, and he has continued to hit Major League pitching with a flurry, hitting .380 with 12 home runs. And he's driven in 43 runs since the end of April.
And another base hit. Running towards the gap, and it's a quick 4-0 lead for Detroit. Throw to second, not in time, and a double for Bosch. He continues to punish left-handed pitching, and Liriano has given up a hit batter in 4 straight hits and 4 early runs.
Well, take a look at the pitch right here. A slider about thigh high, and Bosch with that level swing, finding that gap in right center. Span gets it back in. Bosch diving head first is safe at second, and he now has 45 runs driven in.
Here's Guillen, the designated hitter, with nobody out, and Liriano misfires again. The fans just getting situated here, and it's already 4-0 Detroit. And 2-0 to Guillen. When Liriano last pitched here, it was a big matchup against Ubaldo Jimenez, and Liriano had a terrible time in the first inning, gave up 3 runs, settled down after that, but in reality the game was decided in the first inning. Now another base hit. Bosch will be held at third, and Liriano can't get anybody out here in this first inning.
Well, everything that he is throwing up there, they are hitting hard. Guillen hitting this ball to left field. 5 straight hits off of Liriano. And runners at the corners, nobody out yet. Guillen has always been a very good hitter from both sides of the plate. Delman Young getting that ball back in quickly.
Brandon Inge will hit. Brian Dunsing, 7:19 in the evening, is warming up. Can't figure it out. This team was, in fact, still is second in the league in team ERA, despite a dreadful road trip for the starting pitchers for the most part. And now this homestand gets off to a terrible start. Strike one.
Well, again, you have to roll with the punches, but the punches have been thrown pretty hard to the Twins over the last couple weeks.
One strike to Inge. 1-1.
Inge in his 10th season with the Tigers, an all-star last year for the American League.
Awkward swing by Inge, and Liriano gets 2 strikes on Inge, but he had 2 strikes on Cabrera before giving up the 2-run double. There's a strikeout, first base occupied, so Inge doesn't have anywhere to go, and finally an out. Twins baseball brought to you in Sony High Definition.
Well, the fans like that out right there.
It's the first one they've seen.
Yep.
There's Gerald Laird. Last time we saw Laird, he was hitting number 8, or wearing number 8. And he changed his number because he wasn't hitting very well, so he's changed to number 12, and took him a while, but now he's starting to swing the bat better. And he takes inside a ball. A hit batter, a single, a single, a double, a double, a single. Finally a strikeout. Laird and Alex Avila splitting catching duties for the Tigers.
Yeah, Laird in his 2nd season with the Tigers, coming over from the Texas Rangers.
See if they can get 2 here. 4 runs for Detroit. The first 6 batters reach, and the Tigers jump out in front. Double from Cabrera, a 2-run double from Bosch, and it's a quick 4-0 lead. Twins Menard's batting order has Denard Span leading things off. Orlando Hudson 2nd, Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau, Jason Kubel, Michael Kadire, Jim Thome 7th, Delman Young 8th, and Nick Punto 9th.
Let's take a look at the Dodge Ram scouting report on Jeremy Bonderman, making his 14th start, his 15th appearance. One thing Bonderman is starting to do, he's learning how to pitch. He's starting to realize he cannot strike everybody out. He's working in that good sinker, slider, but he has struggled on the road and at night starts. 1-3 on the road and 0-4 in night starts so far this year for Bonderman.
And Tiger Terror, Denard Span, leading things off, and he takes strike one and steps out of the box.
Twins have not seen Bonderman since April of 2008. So it's been a couple years.
And Span is hit by a pitch. And Tim Welke steps into fair territory to make sure nothing's going on. Span shrugs his shoulders at Bonderman. Cabrera comes in to make sure there's no incident. So a hit batter, and Hudson will hit next.
Trying to go inside like Liriano did, and just getting Span on the left arm right there. Excuse me, the right arm. So Span will get on base. Both leadoff hitters in this ballgame hit by pitches.
And here's Hudson, who will try to do what Santiago did, get aboard. Santiago did it with a bunt single. We'll see what Hudson does here in his at bat. And Bonderman delivers low. Like to give up 4 runs in the first, and you don't need to answer with 4. You just would like to come back and answer with something here in the bottom of the inning. Laird is one of the toughest catchers to run against. Don't expect the score being what it is to see Span take off here.
He's thrown out about 1 of every 3 potential base stealers.
There's a strike, 1-1.
Well, Bonderman in his 8th season with the Tigers last year a couple years ago, had surgery, a blood clot in that right arm. Appeared in only 8 ball games last year, only 1 start.
1-1. And strike 2. Usually it's the Twins who get out to a quick start in these homestand openers. Twins are 4-0 when they open up a homestand at Target Field. And they've scored 16 first inning runs. They've scored at least 2 runs in every one of their homestand openers so far. Hudson drives it to the right field corner and deep. Off the wall. Span to third. Hudson to second. And they're in great shape to do some more first inning damage at the start of this homestand.
Well, Hudson got a breaking ball right there and hit it a long way off that wall in right field. See the slider, Hudson almost leaving his feet to hit this ball. High off the wall. And then Bosch gets it back in. Hudson with a double. Span scoots over to third.
And here's Mauer. Mauer takes a strike on the outside corner. And Laird will go to the mound. Got a runner at second base. Maybe just want to get their signal straight.
Well, Mauer 8 for 23 lifetime against Bonderman with a home run.
One strike to Mauer. Fly ball to left. Back near the track is Bosch. He makes the catch. And Span will come in and score. Mauer gets a sacrifice fly, and the Twins get at least 1 here in the first inning.
Yeah, now it's a 3-0 ball game. That's the way you have to look at it. And hopefully Justin can drive in Hudson. But Joe Mauer picking up an RBI, his 34th of the year. As Span scores.
So Morneau at the plate. And the Tigers throughout this series don't want to see Morneau at the plate with men in scoring position any more than the Twins want to see Cabrera at the plate with men in scoring position. Down low, ball one.
Justin 5 for 27 lifetime against Bonderman, a 185 hitter. He does have a home run.
Outside, and it's 2-0.
Now Bonderman making his 15th career start against the Twins. 3 wins, 6 losses, with an ERA at 5.32. Actually lost his major league debut against the Twins in Detroit back in 2003. Joe Mays and the Twins beat him 8-1.
And that one shaves the outside corner. 2-1. In putting his lineup together, Ron Gardenhire's put 3 lefties in succession. Of course, Hudson a switch hitter, but Mauer, Morneau, and Kubel all hitting 3, 4, and 5. Three and 1. And so you've got this situation here. Morneau, the most dangerous run producer the Twins have, and first base is open. But having Kubel behind Morneau gives the Twins pretty enviable position here.
Well, you got a guy that's swinging a hot bat in Jason Kubel. Justin getting the day off yesterday, but had an outstanding road trip. Hit .412 on the road trip with a couple home runs.
And he takes a walk and fills first base. Northland Ford defense for the Detroit Tigers. Ryan Rayburn is in left. Brian Bosch is in right. And Jackson is in center. Hinge, Worth, Santiago Cabrera around the infield layer behind the plate. And I may have identified Bosch as being the left fielder, and it is Rayburn in left. And Bosch is in right. So here's Kubel representing the tying run. And a breaking pitch gets a swing and a miss.
So took something off the pitch right here, and Kubel a little out front. Kubel coming off a road trip where he hit .357. 10 hits in 28 at-bats with a home run and 3 RBIs.
A take in the dirt, 1-1.
Bonderman, 27 years old, coming up with the Tigers in 2003. Doesn't have the fastball he had in 2003 to 5 in that range, but he's at about 88 to 92 miles an hour.
Outside, 2-1. Well, Bonderman not handling his early good fortune very well here with a 4-0 lead before he threw his first pitch. A hit batter, a double. The only out he's recorded, the one that drove in the lone Twins run, a sacrifice fly. Two and 1 to Kubel. Nice pickup at second by Santiago, and he starts a double play. Hard smash off the bat of Kubel, and the Tigers get an inning-ending double play, and the Twins get just one in the first.
I'm Robbie Mikowski, and I'm standing outside the left field and third base side of the ballpark as you walk into Target Field. A lot of foot traffic going on in downtown Minneapolis this week, and you might want to consider this entranceway as a way to get in, and you can check out some of the baseball card from all your favorite Twins throughout their 50 years in Twins territory, including two great Dutchmen, Bert Blyleven and Jim Cott. Well, at least one great Dutchman.
Kitty, 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 kitty. Being Mr. Jim Cott. Well, Liriano needs to put a 0 on the board right here. Keep the club in the game.
Number 9 hitter Danny Worth leading things off in the second, taking ball one, and now a sharp ground ball hit to Hudson. One down. A lot of stuff going on here in downtown Minneapolis as we roll into the summer months, particularly this week. We plan ahead for a couple of busy days. Tomorrow night, the Twins-Tigers game 2 at Target Field at 7. At the same time, Justin Bieber is putting on a concert next door at Target Center. And then Thursday night, Twins and Rays open up their series. And more my type of music. Styx, Foreigner, and Kansas are in concert at Target Center. So learn about your transportation choices. Go to targetcenter.com or destinationtargetfield.com and figure out the best way to navigate through the congestion. Jackson fouls it away, 2 strikes. So Liriano, who hit Jackson, and that was the beginning of his trouble in the first inning, gets ahead of him here, 0-2.
You know, a lot of times you get beat up like Liriano did in that first inning. You'll throw 30 to 40 pitches. Liriano, I mean, it happened so quick. 20 pitches for Liriano, so that's a good thing.
Right over his head into center field. So Jackson aboard with a 1-out single.
Well, take a look at this pitch right here. Another slider, but Jackson just dropping the barrel of a bat. Looks like the Tigers right now, they're kind of looking for that slider down. Cabrera hit a pretty good slider down. Jackson did. So this is where you have to make the adjustment as a pitcher. Maybe go more to the circle changeup or fastballs away.
Here's Santiago. He bunted, and the Twins did not play it well. It went for an infield hit, a bunt single. And then the outfield hit started coming. When Liriano had his disappointing outing here against Jimenez, he hit 2 batters in the first inning and paid the price. Jackson a threat to steal, and Liriano trying to keep him close.
Well, Mauer, very good arm behind the plate. Liriano wants to give him a chance to throw Jackson out if he decides to go.
Santiago swings at that first fastball.
Tigers kind of like the Twins. They don't run a lot. 34 stolen bases. They've been caught 10 times. The Twins 32 stolen bases. They've been caught 9 times.
Jackson goes, swing and a miss. Mauer's throw, not in time, and Punto never did catch the ball. So it's a stolen base for Jackson, and he's in scoring position with 1 away.
Well, a great throw right there by Joe Mauer, but Jackson stealing that off of Francisco Liriano. His 13th stolen base of the year. Got a great jump, does look in, but the feet first slide right into the bag, and a speedy Jackson gets into scoring position with 1 out.
2 strikes to Santiago. Liriano struck out Inge for the first out of the first inning. He'd like to get another one here. Nice block by Mauer. And it's 1-2. Tigers with a 4-run first inning, and the Twins came back and got 1 in the bottom of the inning. And he'll afford to keep giving back runs to Detroit. 1-2. Pulled foul.
It's almost like the Tigers right now are looking in when Liriano gets ahead in the count. So now you have to say, okay, change up away or fastball away. Those are the adjustments you have to make throughout the ball game, what the opponent is trying to do to you.
Little bouncer, and it's going to be a tough play for Punto. And Santiago has a pair of infield hits, a bunt single, and a little dribbler that got Jackson to third base. First and third, one away.
Yeah, they went to a fastball away, and Santiago just reaches out, doesn't hit it real sharply. Punto has to come in, makes the best play he can make right here, but Santiago just beat it out. So runners at the corners. And one out for the Tigers.
Santiago wasn't even supposed to be in the starting lineup, but he got a big hit in the first inning, and Tigers would like to think he just got another big hit here in the second. Here's Rayburn. Single to center to fill the bases his first time up. Slider taken down and in, ball one. Boy, Liriano, Rick Anderson, Ron Gardner, you'd love to have a 1-2-3 inning here in this second inning. Get the Twins off the field, but the Tigers come right back with another threat.
I need a double play ball right here.
What a pick by Punto. Out at second. That's all they'll get. Santiago and Hudson get tangled up. A run will score. But an absolute rocket backhanded by Punto to get a big second out.
Oh, it would have been a great double play, but Nick Punto, that ball landing right in front of him, and somehow he's able to knock that ball down. And for a split second, the ball stayed in his glove and then kind of left the glove. But he does get the force out at second base of Santiago. Wow, what a nice play by Nick Punto. Jackson does score for the second time in a ball game, and the Tigers get that run back.
And Cabrera with a big swing, fouling the first pitch back to the net. Cabrera cracked one to the gap in left center field, and I think he was reintroduced to Target Field. He stood at home plate thinking he had hit a grand slam, and instead it was a two-run double. Cabrera remains one of just two batters to hit an opposite field home run here. And he hit one with plenty to spare over the scoreboard in right center field in early May. And crunched one pretty good towards the bullpen, but that did not go out. One strike to Cabrera. Just off the plate, 1-1. Miles per hour and in a pretty good spot. 1-2.
See, that's where if they're going to sit on that slider, you have to establish a way, and that's a good fastball right there by Liriano in a good location.
Mauer digs it out. 2-2. Cabrera feeling that he might have been hit by that pitch. But Tim Welke says no. 2-2.
Well, that slider down and in, and Cabrera kind of moving his feet a little bit. Quit begging.
2-2 with two away.
Well, the way this guy hits anyway, you wouldn't think he'd want to be on base by hit by a toe. He'd want to swing the bat.
What was your Willie Horton story? where maybe it was you who thought you'd thrown a strike instead of ball 4, and Willie said, "You want it to be a strike? It can be a strike."
Yeah, that was in Detroit.
Yeah.
One of the first times I faced Willie Horton. 3-1 call pitch. It was away, and I thought it was a pretty close pitch. I asked the umpire. Willie said, "You want to be a strike? It can be a strike." I said, "No, Mr. Horton, it's ball 4."
Well, now it's 3-2. Liriano hasn't walked anybody, but Tigers have enjoyed a great deal of success already against him with 5 runs, 7 hits. And a full count with 2 away will free Rayburn up to take off for second base early.
Let's see what he throws him here on a 3-2 pitch.
Foul tip. Bauer hangs on. A strikeout of Cabrera. And the inning ends. Another run for Detroit, and it's back to a 4-run lead. Liner to left, and almost over the glove of Rayburn in left. So the Twins have hit everything hard here against Bonderman, yet he's out there with a 5-1 lead.
That ball looked like it was starting to take off, almost like a jet engine or plane, but Rayburn at the last second kind of leaped up. Kadire hitting this ball right on the button, and Rayburn have to jump up right there to snare that line drive. Look at that right there. Wow. Kadire hit it hard.
Here's Tomey. And he takes outside, ball 1. Tomey hitting 7th in this lineup. That sure looks like it would be a consistent run-producing lineup, with Delman Young hitting 8th. Delman Young tied for the team lead in runs batted in, batting 8th.
He's your second cleanup hitter, kind of like what you were mentioning about Cleveland when they had Ramirez hitting 8th and Tomey was hitting 4th in that lineup.
1-1 to Tomey.
It's Manny Ramirez.
2-1.
Well, Jim Tomey 6 for 21 lifetime against Bonderman with 3 home runs. 570 home runs for Jim Tomey in his career.
Bonderman's all over the place. He's missed. He hit Span to start the game. He's been behind hitters, 22 pitches, 11 strikes.
Well, again, Bonderman in his history against the Twins, he comes in his first 14 starts, an ERA of over 5. So the Twins have handled Bonderman pretty good. They just have to come back from a 4-run deficit.
Good batter, a couple of walks. Delman Young to the plate. Fans, if you have tickets tomorrow night, Twins are encouraging you to explore all your travel and parking options. It'll be a busy night in downtown with Justin Bieber playing at Target Center. Visit twinsbaseball.com, click on the Target Field tab, to get a complete list of transportation and parking options to help you plan on your arrival tomorrow.
Look at that. That's the Metropolitan Club. Some good food there.
You eaten out there yet?
No, I have not. I am going to now.
Yeah, it's very good out there. The Sunday night game that the Twins played here against Texas, I was out there, and very good food.
Hope they made you pay.
They did. Oh, yes. But I got my money's worth, I'll tell you that. Young lifts it foul toward the seats. And 2 strikes.
That's an out in Oakland.
Well, Young, who has hit and prospered in the 7th spot, now with his new lineup dropping down to 8th. I would imagine if we would see a left-handed starter in this lineup on the field, he may move up a notch or 2. 2 strikes.
Well, Ron Gardenhire saying, I read where, Jim Thome, even though he didn't get to play a lot on that road trip, he's not going to play Jim Thome night after night. The plantar fasciitis he has and other little nagging injuries, but Jim Thome will get to DH, and that kind of drops Delmon Young lower part of the lineup. Delmon 4 for 9 lifetime against Bonderman.
Pop up, short left center field. Jackson coming in, and out number 2. Like a Mercury key stat. Typically, the American League Central and the other 5 divisions get down to who does the best within the division.
Well, now that interleague play is over with, the Twins can look back at the American League and say, you know what, 72 of the 162 ball games are played within a division between the Twins, the Royals, the Tigers, the Indians and the White Sox. So right now the Twins have a nice advantage in the division.
Here's Punto, and he takes outside a ball.
$18 times these two clubs will face each other throughout the season.
Punto doing well with another position change. Started at third, now playing regularly at short. Takes a strike. J.J. Hardy took batting practice today and told me everything feels good, 100%. The Twins had this timetable set up for Hardy where they were going to watch him swing here for 3 days, send him out on a rehab assignment, and join the team in Toronto. And naturally, Hardy wants to accelerate that timetable a couple of days and hopes to be back from a rehab assignment here this weekend.
Well, that's good news.
2-1. And Bonderman, who has not handled a 4-run lead, 2 of them in fact very well here, is in danger of walking the number 9 hitter.
Yeah, Punto's been swinging a hot bat on that road trip that we just came from. 11 hits in 30 at bats, a .367 batting average.
It's down the left field line, and Rayburn in foul ground makes the play. So Bonderman struggles a little bit, but he doesn't give up any hits, doesn't give up any runs, and he's got another 4-run lead. get involved in our telecast tonight. Let us know who you think will be the Arby's Value Player of the game. Text the word value followed by a space and the player's name to short code 234-234. Rough start to the game probably has eliminated Francisco Liriano's chances of being the winner. See if the Twins can come back and win this ball game. Brennan Bosch drove in 2 of the 4 first inning runs with a double. He'll lead off the third. Bosch, Guillen, and Inge to face Liriano.
Yeah, Bosch, one of those guys, you look at his minor league numbers, really never showed that type of potential that he's had. You know, at the minor league level, a .273 hitter. He hit some home runs, but 53 home runs and 1,900 at-bats in the minor leagues. I was talking to Jim Price, the radio analyst for the Detroit Tigers, and he said this young man is on everything. 25-year-old, number 3 pick by the Tigers in 2006 out of the University of California.
Fly ball to right field. Kubel over, particularly against left-handed pitching. Now, he didn't get a chance to play every day against lefties, but he came into the game hitting .455 against lefties. 1 down, and Carlos Guillen will hit. Bright sunshiny day and a little reflection from the windows and the buildings down the right field line. You get a sort of secondhand smoke. I guess that's secondhand light. Quick second out here in the third inning. You can vote for the All-Star game, and it's closing up this week. Vote for all the Twins and the rest of your favorite major leaguers online at twinsbaseball.com. Vote early, vote often, and help the Twins be well represented in the 2010 All-Star game. Twinsbaseball.com, where Twins baseball is always on. Here's Brandon Inge, went down swinging for the first out of that ugly first inning, and Liriano drives a fastball over for 1 strike.
The All-Star game being played in Anaheim, California. I like what they've done with the All-Star game now, all the fan fest and everything that goes with it. And take a look at the leading vote getters that came out today. Joe Mauer behind the plate, Justin Morneau at first.
And Mauer significantly leading all vote getters. And Liriano with a much-needed quick 1-2-3 third inning. 8 pitches in the third to see if the Twins can chip away at this Detroit lead. Practice, enjoying great food, just a great feature in this ballpark. Well, the Twins find themselves down 5-1. They'll start over with the second trip through the batting order. Promising first inning. They did get one run. Looked like they were going to break through for more, but Bonderman got Kubel to smash into a double play. Span hit by a pitch. He scored in the first inning. He has been a Tiger nemesis again this year. He's been Minnesota's most consistent hitter against Detroit pitching. 2 strikes. The Tigers were here in early May talking with Miguel Cabrera and talking about the great hitters in this series and Mauer and Morneau and all that, and he said no, Span's the guy that just absolutely crushes Tiger pitching. It'll be a tough play, backhanded by Worth. Span beats it out. Hit by a pitch in the first, now an infield hit in the third.
Yeah, Span, one of those hitters, he's not going to hurt you with the long ball. He's going to just get on and create havoc. And right there, just reaching out and hitting that ball past Inge at third base. Now, Worth has to make a very nice play, kind of backhanding this ball, and then an off-balance throw, but Span beats it out. So the Twins get their second hit of the ball game, and it's a leadoff single by Denard Span.
Hudson doubled off the fence in right his first time up, setting up the Twins for a first inning rally. Thought about bunting and takes ball 1.
Now, guys like Span and Hudson, they want to do that because they want to show bunt to bring Inge in and let him play on the grass. Because if the pitch is away again, just like Span, he can hit that ball past that third baseman. That kind of cuts down his range a little bit when he has to play closer to the plate.
At the knees, 1-1. Lifted to left, and Rayburn retreats. There have been balls that have carried much farther tonight than I anticipated to left field. Earlier, Rayburn nearly got fooled on the line drive off the bat of Pedier, but that looked like a medium deep fly ball and almost carried to the warning track.
Even the ball that Joe Mauer hit for the sacrifice fly seemed to carry pretty good that way. So, maybe as it warms up a little bit, it will become more of a hitter's park than what it is right now, a pitcher's park.
Well, here's Mauer. He hit a home run here in the exhibition series against St. Louis, but of course does not have an official home run in a regular season game here. Drove in the first inning run with that deep fly ball to left. Inside a ball, 1-0. Talking about keys to the series in our pregame show, and I singled out extra base hitting. And Span with 15 steals on the team, again down by 4. You wouldn't expect him to go with Mauer and Morneau up, but timely extra base hitting. This is a situation where the Twins would love to at least get another run here in the third. Bonderman doesn't seem to have great command within or without the strike zone.
Well, Joe second on the club with 21 doubles, be one behind Justin Morneau.
To Mauer. 3-0 with Morneau on deck. Cap, the pitching coach for the Tigers, a little concerned about how Bonderman is going about his business here. Only half his pitches for strikes. And he's walked Bauer to first, Span to second, and Morneau coming to the plate.
Yeah, third walk of the ball game for Bonderman. Well, we were talking about the all-star voting. Joe Mauer leading all vote getters, but at first base, pretty close ballot right here. Continue to vote for Justin Morneau, who leads over Mark Teixeira and Miguel Cabrera.
TwinsBaseball.com and vote as often as you can and get Justin into the game and perhaps into the home run derby where he won it a couple of years ago. Morneau walked in the first inning. Strike on the outside corner. Royals have jumped on Mark Burley early at Kauffman Stadium, and they're leading the White Sox 3-0.
Yeah, Justin with 15 home runs. Only 2 of them have been hit here. Very good place right here for his third.
Checked his swing, or did he? Strike 2.
Bonderman working the outer half of that plate. He has a little bit of sink on that ball. And Justin unable to hold up.
Some key spots. Bonderman has made some big pitches. He got a double play ball off the bat of Kubel when Kubel represented the tying run. 2 strikes now to Morneau. And that will be grounded to the glove of Worth. It'll be an infield hit for Morneau, and the bases are loaded. Kubel's got another chance to tie the game up.
Boy, another example right there why Justin is such a pure hitter. The first 2 pitches, outer half of the plate, Bonderman says, okay, I'm going to try it again. And instead of trying to pull the ball, Justin just goes with it. Worth has to dive for this ball, knocks it down, keeps it in the infield, and keeps Span at third base.
Well, here's Kubel. And Kubel hit a hard one-hop smash. Great fielding play by Santiago. He not only got it out, he got a double play started. At the knees, a strike, and Kubel looks back at Tim Welke. They've been pitching Kubel away, and he finally got something on the inner half of the plate.
Well, trying to get that ground ball and right as low as you can go in that strike zone. Kubel has the only grand slam by the Twins this year.
Breaking ball gets a chopper foul for 2 strikes. And Kubel making an adjustment with teams pitching him away and away throughout the last homestand. He got in on the plate a little bit. As a result, his average has climbed into the 260s, a far cry from where it was a month ago. 2 strikes. Line foul over the roof for the Tiger dugout.
Boy, Bonderman made a mistake right there. Gerald Laird was sitting way in, and that ball left out over the plate. The catcher Laird where he wanted that. He wanted that ball kind of belt high inside. See if they go back in again.
Two strikes to Kubel. And a ball.
Again, Laird sat inside, and the ball down and away.
That's what I was saying before. It's not just the high number of balls, but within the strike zone. He's nowhere near the target.
Yeah.
One and two to Jason Kubel. And he fought that off.
Yeah, that was a kind of a hanger right there. That's a ball you want to line into left center. You know, a lot of times you'll see a catcher go through signs, but Gerald Laird is just not really giving too many signs. He's going more like that, touching different places.
Another 1-2 to Kubel. And a fastball fouled back.
Yeah, he got that ball in, and Kubel fouled it off. So Laird going out to talk to his right-hander.
Who's been so erratic with his control, I would think anything in the inner half of the plate in this situation would be a pretty risky call, wouldn't it?
Well, if it's hard in, I mean, you're going to jam Kubel. He's right on top of the plate. He's almost daring you to go in.
One and two to Kubel. Right back to Bonderman. He throws to second. And another inning-ending double play. Two critical at-bats with Kubel at the plate. And Bonderman has gotten him to bounce into two double plays. Liriano would like a rewrite.
Yeah, you can't get a mulligan in baseball, but Francisco Liriano in that first inning gave up 5 straight hits after hitting Jackson to lead off the ball game. Tigers with 4 runs in the first. He added 1 in the second. In a 5-1 Tiger lead.
There's Gerald Laird, who will lead off the 4th for Detroit. And Danny Worth and Austin Jackson. Strike 1. Bauer may have gotten bitten by that foul ball. Laird bounced into a double play to end the first inning. The first 6 batters for the Tigers reached. 4 of them scored before Liriano got an out. Then he got a strikeout and a double play. 2 strikes. One and 2. Mechanically, you notice anything different from Liriano from the first month of the year?
No, I think everything is fine with him. I mean, Cabrera hit a pretty good pitch. Right there, just trying to overthrow a little bit, get that ball down in the strike zone. If you're going to miss, you want to miss down. And that's what I think we've seen out of the starting staff, other than Pavano. Everybody has been up in the strike zone consistently.
Ground ball to second. Hudson. Tomorrow, 1 away. Twins and Tigers again tomorrow night here at Target Field. And the first 30,000 fans will get a tote bag, courtesy of Delta Airlines, the official airline of Twins baseball. If you'd like to check on the availability of tickets for the upcoming Tigers series, the Rays series later on in this homestand, or the rest of the 2010 schedule, call 800-33-TWINS. Here's Danny Worth. Last time we saw the Tigers, it was here in early May, and Adam Everett, the former Twin, was still one of their shortstops. Tigers released Everett. Worth getting called up, chance to play some at short, some at second base. 1-1.
Yeah, Worth in the minor leagues, not much of a minor league hitter, and he's not much of a major league hitter yet. Guy that's known more as a defensive type player. Played his college ball out of Pepperdine University as he lines a base hit to right field.
A 1-out single here in the fourth. Worth aboard. There's AT&T trivia question. Which Twins pitcher has the most career wins against the Tigers?
Meaning current day pitcher or overall?
Good question. A little clarification before we get the answer right. Strike one.
Wins in a Twins uniform.
Well, I'm going to go with Brad Radke. It's just a guess, of course. But when Radke was at his best with the Twins, the Tigers were terrible. A lot of teams beat up on Detroit.
Well, you'd think of Johan Santana.
Yeah.
You'd think of maybe Jim Cott. Jim Perry.
How many did you get? Did you ever break it down team by team?
No.
And now 2-1. What makes this Tiger rise toward the top of the division even more remarkable, they're doing it on the strength of unproven rookies. They've got the grizzled manager in Jim Leland, but here they are with Austin Jackson, who early on was the top of the rookie class. Brennan Bosch, as you said, really came out of nowhere, and he's right now got the inside track for the Rookie of the Year award. But they've had 7 different players this year make their major league debuts with the Detroit Tigers. Beyond being rookies, guys who've never played up here before. And a couple of them have been impact players like Jackson and Bosch. Liriano strikes him out number 2.
Oh, good fastball away right there, and Liriano picks up his 3rd strikeout. I think the Tigers did a great job in that first inning looking for that slider, and now Liriano going more fastballs. I thought Rayburn hit a pretty good slider just on the left side of Punto for that base hit, and then Cabrera hit a pretty good slider down when Liriano was ahead in the count.
Well, they've just told me that in your Hall of Fame career, you retired, or you beat the Tigers 16 times.
I'm going to go with Jim Cott. Kitty, kitty, kitty.
2-0. Liriano with 52 pitches. Excuse me, Bonderman with 52 pitches. And a strike, 2-1.
Well, staying with that fastball right now, Liriano picking up a strike inside.
Box Tracks brought to you by the Minnesota Department of Public Safety. Runner goes. Mauer's throw on the bag. Safe at second. A one-hop throw. Punto had to raise his glove to field the throw, and it looked like the runner, Worth, slid under the glove.
Yeah, Danny Worth picking up his first major league stolen base. Again, getting a very good jump off of Liriano. Great throw. One hop right there by Mauer. And Worth getting in the scoring position with 2 outs.
3-1 to Santiago. And that's ball 4.
Oh, Santiago walked back. He thought it was a strike. Well, first walk of the ball game for Liriano. Looked like a breaking ball right here. Splits the plate. And you could see Santiago kind of step back. He thought it was a strike too.
Well, now Rayburn will hit with 2 men aboard. Rayburn with a single and a run scored in the first, and then he drove in a run with a hard smash. Punto was able to flag it down and get a force at second, but a run scored on the play to make it 5-1. And now Mauer goes to the mound. Both the Twins and the Tigers finished the road part of interleague play with a 3-6 mark. And the Twins, of course, had all 9 of their games in succession. The Tigers just finished with 6 on the road. And they're finishing up a week-and-a-half long road trip here in Minnesota.
The Tigers were 11-7 in interleague, when the Twins were 8-10. We talk about the success of the Twins here, 23-13. The Tigers very good at home. They're 25-11 on home, but they're 15-23 on the road. Well, the Tigers making ground on the Twins since interleague on June 10th. But it's the White Sox that kind of came out of nowhere.
Inside, and it's 2-1. Key at bat here. The Twins were already down by 4. And Rayburn hitting third somewhat by default. Ordonez was in the starting lineup. And Liriano does not want to have to deal with Cabrera here in the 4th inning. He's in the on-deck circle. Bouncer to third. Kadire has it. And they get the force at second. So the Tigers leave a pair on in the 4th inning. See if the Twins can get a run or two in the bottom of the inning. But he was giving up just the 1 run. He'll face Kadire, Tomey, and Young here in the 4th.
Yeah, he's kind of been Houdini in the first 3 innings. Twins have had their opportunities, but unable to really capitalize.
Twins have sent 14 men to the plate, and Bonderman's retired only 7 of them. He's gotten 2 big double play balls off the bat of Jason Kubel. 1 strike to Kadire. Right off the end of the bat, 2 strikes. Kadire drilled a liner to left that Rayburn nearly misjudged. They're making a leap at the end to make the catch.
Yeah, he started him off with a fastball in his first at bat, and Kadire was all over it. This time he went with a slider, then a changeup. Now Laird working away, and that fastball missing down and away.
Kanier, base hit to left field. So the leadoff man is on. Tim Laudner. The Twins seem to have had some good at-bats, with the exception of the Kubel at-bats against Jeremy Bonderman.
Well, they have been hitting bullets off of Jeremy Bonderman. You know what, Bert? You said he's been Houdini-like. That might be an understatement. He's been giving up some pretty good shots off the Twins' bats. Let's see if they can still continue to have good at-bats, rack up a few runs, because Liriano certainly seems to have settled in and started to own the outside half of the plate.
Check swing and a foul tip, 1 strike.
Yeah, how many times have you seen, Tim, the first part of the game goes to one team and the second half goes to the other team, and this is a good offensive team that Gardy has as far as this lineup. They can score some runs if they get going.
We talked earlier, it's about the team that can make the adjustments. There's such a familiarity when you play so many games within your division. You know what the other team has, what they don't have. It's a team that can make the adjustments during the course of the game that's probably going to turn out to be successful.
Modified shift for the Tigers during this Thome at bat. Left side of the infield swung around, but Worth still on the third base side of second base. 1-1 to Thome. That is blasted to right. And it takes a weird hop off the wall. Kanier's going to score. My goodness. I never in my wildest dreams thought I'd see this. A Jim Thome triple.
Oh, that was a rocket right there. Jim Thome hitting his first triple since 2004 when he was with the Philadelphia Phillies. Look at that ball carom right off there and go toward the right field line.
Did it hit the edge of the scoreboard? Yep. The frame of the scoreboard out there, and it kicked along the warning track.
And look at Jim Thome fly to third base.
Infield back, and Delman Young on a check swing has 1 strike.
An RBI for Jim Thome on his first triple since 2004. Driving in his 20th run of the year.
He's still smiling about it. Well, the Tigers are giving Young a run batted in here with the infield back. And Thome's going to try to score. And Young's going to get an infield hit, and it's 5-3. So the 4th inning starts with 3 straight hits and a couple of runs.
Well, that's what Tim Laudner was talking about. You know what? I mean, you keep working, and hopefully you get back into the ball game. And thanks to the unorthodox triple by Jim Thome, and then the RBI infield base hit by Delman Young, the Twins are only down by 2. So Delman Young, picking up his 50th RBI, now leads the club in that department as Jim Thome scores.
All right, well, let's add 3 to each total. Jeremy Bonderman has faced 17 men and retired just 7 of them. Brad Thomas warming up in the Tiger bullpen. Another look at where Thome's line drive hit the fence in right.
Yeah, right there at the edge of the scoreboard, and that makes that ball. That's probably pretty cut up right there. Makes Brendan Bosch kind of retreat. So he thinks that ball's going to carry him and probably go toward right center. Instead, it went down the right field line.
Well, I mean, he's taken fly balls there, and he knows. I mean, he did the right thing. It just it took a weird hop. We're so cognizant of the limestone facing and the overhang and the different caroms you can get there, but now the scoreboard itself comes into play. Punto at the plate, trying to keep the line moving. And the Twins, who've had opportunities for so many clutch hits in the first few innings against Bonderman, now string 3 hits together quickly in the 4th.
Well, they're worried about Delman Young for some reason. 3 stolen bases in 5 attempts.
Everybody's smiling in the dugout after Tony's triple. Tony probably saying $550 million and they don't have an oxygen tank here.
Well, that was his 25th Major League triple in 40 years. Not bad for Jim Thome.
Now, is this in real time or slow motion? 2 strikes to Punto. And another foul to the left field corner. Punto with a foul fly to left. That ended the second inning, and all his foul balls have been hit to the opposite field as well. And this at bat. Now he pulls one. Cabrera fires to second. Relay to first. Not in time. The Twins nearly hit into their 3rd double play in the first 4 innings.
Well, a nice pickup right there by Cabrera. Punto pulling that ball. And it's a pitcher's responsibility to get over there. As Cabrera coming off the bag, makes a play, makes sure you get the out at second. Worst throw back, and Punto beats it out.
Span at the plate. He has been hit by a pitch, and he got an infield hit. Got as far as third base in the 3rd inning. In the top of the 6th in Kansas City, with the Royals leading the White Sox 3-1. Another ground ball hit to second. And a double play. The Twins within 2 runs, but they grounded into 3 double plays in the first 4 innings. Today's game brought to you by Budweiser, official beer of the first inning. Let's check out the Robbie and Smikowski, Bert Blylev, and Dick Bramer, glad you're with us. Miguel Cabrera with the bases empty. And he takes strike 1 from Francisco Liriano.
Well, I saw the weather report for the 7 games. It's just going to be gorgeous.
great weather in the 70s, 80s. Not much, at least until this weekend, much in the way of a threat of precipitation at all.
Well, you can see right now 74 degrees, humidity at 40%, and the wind's northwest at 9 miles an hour.
74 degrees. What's it feel like?
74.
74. Cabrera came up with the bases loaded in the first inning and nearly unloaded. He drove in 2 runs with a double. Then he went down swinging with a man aboard in the second. Two and 1. .72 pitches for Liriano. Three and 1. Liriano had a 1-2-3 third, but then he gave up a base hit and a walk in the fourth. Stranded a couple of runners. And he walks Cabrera to start the fifth.
Hey, Tim, I know you're closer to the field right there. Sometimes it looks to me Liriano just trying to overthrow a little bit.
Yeah, he gets cranked up and he gets excited. But the thing that he's made the adjustment, you touched on it a little bit too, Bert, is that you can't continue to pound in on good major league hitters. You have to be able to pitch to both sides of the plate. He's thrown up a couple of zeros in the last couple of innings because he's been able to move the ball outside. Joe has gotten outside where he's set up on the outside corner, not just the outside half. It's given him an opportunity to put up a couple of zeros and give his team a chance to score a couple of runs and get back in the ball game. I'd like to see him continue to work both sides of the plate with that fastball.
Yeah, it really looked to me, Tim, and maybe you could have seen it down there. That first inning, I mean, it seemed like everything in. The Tigers, maybe, their scouting report says, hey, he gets ahead. He wants to go in with that slider. Cabrera hit a pretty good pitch.
He took a really awful swing on a fastball a pitch or two before. It was like he was looking for that slider.
Nice play by Hudson. He gets him out and ends up halfway into right field. That was a 3-hopper that looked like it was going into the outfield, but it's intercepted by Hudson.
Well, the 4-time Rolling Gold Glove winner showing off his range right here. That ball looked like it's going to go out, but the spin around getting Brendan Bosch at first base and Cabrera moving to second base, but a nice defensive play by Hudson.
Carlos Guillen, the designated hitter, with a runner at second and 1 away. Guillen with the annual or semi-annual position change. He's the designated hitter tonight, but when he plays in the field, he's playing at second base. I mean, we've seen him everywhere in the infield and just about everywhere in the outfield.
Well, he started the season, he was going to be the left fielder, and then when, he got hurt, then Brendan Bosch came up and, he kind of took control of the outfield position on a daily basis. And Scott Sizemore never really worked out. It didn't pan out. They ended up optioning him down to AAA.
Cabrera to third. Mauer's throw.
Thank you.
Gets him. What in the world is happening there? You've got one of the great clutch hitters in your lineup, Guillen at the plate. And Cabrera tries for third.
Well, maybe thinking that Liriano was not paying any attention to him at all, but Cabrera, not known for his speed, ends up taking off right here. And Joe Mauer, all you got to do is make a good throw, and he does. And Kadire tags him out for the second out.
1 and 2. Well, that takes care of the leadoff walk. Liriano back from the windup now. 1 and 2 to Guillen. Fouled away. And they say Guillen at second base doesn't have the range he once had when he was 10 years younger, but who does? And he's a veteran presence. If they can keep him healthy. They've already lost Ordonez, it appears, for a little while today, but if they can keep this guy healthy, the lineup's going to score a lot of runs.
Well, you mentioned, he's been a good clutch hitter over his career, a switch hitter, good hitter from both sides of the plate. .287 hitter in his career coming into the season, his 13th major league season.
And Liriano runs the count full again.
See, that's the overthrowing a little bit by Liriano right there.
And now he strikes out Guillen to end the inning, and the Tigers send just 3 to the plate in the 5th.
They flew over, 1,460 miles from Portland. Their arms are tired. Bert, for the love of God, please circle them. This is their first time to Target Field. What are your impressions so far?
Love it. It's a beautiful place.
Awesome. Well, welcome to Target Field. We're glad to have you here. Bert, it's the least you can do is circle these people.
They are hereby circled, Robbie.
One other thing, it is absolutely beautiful out here. We get this sunset right behind us and a baseball game in front of us. There is not a bad seat in the house here.
Hudson with a towering fly ball to center. Easy play for Jackson. And Hudson's retired, 1 away. That'll bring up Mauer. Mauer drove in the first run with a fly ball in the first and got as far as second base in the third. Trying to climb out of an early 4-run hole. They've actually been trailing by 4 runs twice, 4-0 and 5-1. They cut the lead in half last inning, believe it or not, on a Jim Thome triple. One strike from Mauer. Bouncer right side. Cabrera with a nice pickup. Bonderman covers the bag, 2 down, and Bonderman, as much as he's wobbled, is 1 out away from at least qualifying for a win. Bonderman, the Detroit pitcher, last week in New York, got hit right in the noggin during batting practice.
They said he's all right, and then they put a hard hat on him. That's a hard head right there.
Morneau takes outside a ball. Morneau with a walk and a single in his 2 plate appearances. Two and 0 in the first inning with first base open. Bonderman treated Morneau very gingerly. There's another base hit for Morneau, and he'll be aboard. And for the third time already in tonight's game, Jason Kubel comes to the plate representing the tying run.
Well, Kubel probably saying right here, you know what, thank goodness there's 2 outs. Justin hitting this ball sharply past the diving Santiago into center field.
Kubel in the first inning with the Twins down by 3 came up with 2 men aboard and 1 out, bounced into a double play. Then in the third, down by 4 runs and the base was loaded, he hit into another double play. Strike on the outside corner.
Now Kubel with 10 home runs on the year. 7 of those 10 have been hit here at Target Field. Bonderman has given up 8 home runs on the year, making his 14th start.
1 strike. And now a ball.
Well, 75 pitches just that third inning. The most he's thrown in an inning.
Down low, and it's 2-1. Another ground ball to second. Kubel having a frustrating night at the plate. The Twins come up empty in the 5th. It's 5-3 going to the 6th. Brandon Inge leading off the 6th against Francisco Liriano, and there's strike 1. Bottom third of the Tiger lineup: Inge, Laird, and Worth. Way out in front of the changeup. And 2 strikes. And Inge gone quickly.
And Liriano really settling down. He's got to have, a couple of hiccups in the first and second inning, but able to put some zeros on the board. Picks up his 5th strikeout. Good slider right there. And Inge swings through it.
Laird's hit 2 ground balls to Orlando Hudson. One of them turned into a double play to wrap up the first inning. Liriano pumping strike after strike. Getting ahead of Laird. Five pitches, 5 strikes here in the 6th.
Well, you know what Tim Laudner was talking about, make the adjustment. I think what we've seen from Liriano over the last 3 or 4 innings because of that first inning. Now Joe Mauer's working in and out. Good. Looks like a changeup down and away. Now fastball away. So you work both sides of the plate. I think early on Liriano's everything in, and those hitters for the Tigers, they're opening up and hitting that ball hard. Now he's changing speeds better, working both sides of the plate. Mauer again goes outside on a good pitch, but Laird fouls it off.
Still 1-2.
So he went inside one time, and not a bad pitch, outer half of the plate.
So that's what I was really impressed with, and I think you were too, with Carl Pavano pitching to all 4 corners of the strike zone, in and out, up and down in back-to-back starts. And now you get a hitter like Laird to chase a pitch out of the strike zone, 2 away. Danny Worth coming up. And our AT&T trivia question tonight, I'm going to go again with Brad Radke.
I'll go with Kitty, Jim Cott. That was Brad Radke. Ding, 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 ding.
Another win for the announcers. It's amazing. 2 down. Here's Danny Worth. Fly ball right center field. Denard Span on the track, hauls it in, and it's a 1-2-3 6th inning for Liriano on 9 pitches. Jim Thome and Delman Young.
Yeah, I mean, Liriano struggled in the first inning, giving up 4 runs, but able to put some zeros on the board, and hopefully the offense can pick them up here late in the ball game.
Dyer fouls it off his front leg and will try to walk it off. 1 strike. Right on the top of the pad. That might or might not have done him any good. Dustin Pedroia fouled the ball off his foot, broke his foot. He's on the disabled list. Victor Martinez has broken his thumb. He's going to be out for a while. Clay Buchholz sprained his knee. He might miss a start. Dyer drives it to center. And Jackson has to go back and glides after making the catch on the track, one away.
Boy, he like Denard Span. They can cover some ground out in center field.
Welcome back to the Coors Light 6th inning of the Coors Light Freeze Can.
Well, something that hasn't happened for Jim Thome since 2004, hitting it right off of that edge of that scoreboard. And that ball deflecting away toward that right field line, and Jim Thome with a triple, an RBI triple.
The Frost Brew Coors Light Freeze Can. He only needs a single, double, and a home run to hit for the cycle. It's been a while since someone has said about that. Here's a deep drive to left field. This has got some carry, and it's gone.
Well, there's a home run. All he needs is a single and a double now.
Just the third opposite field home run hit here, and the first by a left-handed batter.
Well, Thome hitting his 7th home run, his 571st career home run. There's no doubt about this ball. The strength of Jim Thome taking that pitch the other way. That man is strong. And now it's a 5-4 ball game.
Delman Young outside, and it's 2-0. Now the Twins have hit for the cycle tonight. 4 different batters, or actually 3 different batters. Thome has the triple and the home run. Foul back, 2-1. Well, Ron Gardenhire enjoying sending Thome to the plate more than once a game. Last week and a half, it's been once, if that. And Young drops one into left field for a base hit. And the Twins get the tying run at first.
And Delman Young picking up his 2nd hit, and I think Jim Leland has seen enough. Walking out, putting up his left arm for a reliever to come in.
Bonderman gets the game into the 6th. Comes off with the tying run at first and 1 away. He had a couple innings where he faced, 2 innings where he faced 4 batters. But the Twins, with plenty of opportunities against Bonderman, he's finally excused with 1 out in the 6th.
Well, again, Dick, Bonderman's career against the Twins, he's always kind of struggled against the Twins. Came in 3-6 with a 5.32 earned run average. Now the bullpen asked to come in. Brad Thomas, the first one out of the bullpen. Thomas has been outstanding for the Tigers this year, making his 19th appearance. 4 wins out of that bullpen. Worked 33 2/3 innings. Brad Thomas, of course, you remember that name, a former Twin.
He has given up a lot of hits and a lot of walks. He's kept the ball in the ballpark. He's given up just one home run this year in 33 and 2/3 innings. But opponents are hitting .305 against him. Hasn't struck out many people.
He's always had a pretty good fastball. He was with the Twins a little bit in 2001, 3, and 4. Pitching a total of 11 ball games for the Twins. Made 5 starts, but was 0-3 in a Twins uniform with a 9.89 earned run average. Thomas, a left-hander that has a fastball in the low 90s, a curveball, and a changeup.
Delivers high and wide, ball 1.
Now he has walked 20 batters in 33 and 2/3 innings with 14 strikeouts.
He's one of 3 left-handed relievers the Tigers have. Phil Koch has been very good for the Tigers. Fu Taini has struggled this year. 1-0 to Punto. 2-0.
Scotty Alger going through signs. Nick Punto right here will make Thomas throw a strike. He's missed badly on the first 2.
Down the middle, 2-1. Closing the gap to 1 run here. And a player with some speed at first in Delman Young, although he's not much of a base stealer. And they've got a left-hander on the mound. Young goes on a hit and run, and Punto slaps it foul.
Yeah, tried to get one of the middle infielders to move a little bit, maybe open up a gap up the middle.
Two and 2 to Punto. Span on deck. To right field. Bosch lays it off his knee, and Young is forced at second base. So Punto doesn't reach on a base hit. Bosch, I don't know if he decoyed Young, but Young was heading back to first base as the ball hit the ground.
I don't think Delman got a good read on the flight of this ball right here. I think he lost sight of it, and then once Bosch knocked that ball down, a strong throw to the shortstop Worth, it becomes a force out at second base. That ball was lucky that it hit his shin and then knocked in front of him. So Delman Young forced out at second base.
Well, an odd way to get a second out in an inning, and now Span takes a strike.
I don't think Delman really got a good read on that ball. You know, he kind of hesitated, and then it was too late.
Span bounced into a double play in the 4th. The Twins have hit into 3 of them, and now this curious forced play at second base. It's a game where the Twins have had ample opportunity to get this game tied up.
Not too many times you're writing your scorebook 9-4. Excuse me, 9-6.
I think, yep.
Yeah.
Now Span, who has reached twice, been hit once, and got an infield hit. In a situation where the Twins might think about sending Punto in a straight steal. That's to center, playable for Jackson. The Twins get a home run from Tomey, and a man left aboard. They're within 1. 5-4, and Francisco Liriano faced the minimum number of batters from the 4th through the 6th, and he's out there to pitch again in the 7th.
Yeah, Liriano with 6 strikeouts so far in the ball game, 9 ground ball outs, only 2 fly ball outs.
Waiting here for Span to throw a baseball, I think, up into the crowd. Right center field.
Yeah, Liriano with 93 pitches in the ball game. 2 walks, 6 strikeouts.
Jackson bunts it up the line. Liriano fires a rocket, and he's safe at first.
Wow.
And it's the second bunt single for the Tigers, and Jackson's aboard to start the 7th.
Well, Liriano, we've talked about his delivery, how he kind of falls off and spins around a little bit, and Jackson, like Santiago in the first inning, kind of took that ball with him, and Liriano just threw a pea to Justin that he was able to somehow catch. Jackson beating it out.
I guess he didn't catch it either. We were watching it.
I mean, you stand 20 feet away and let somebody throw it at about 100 miles an hour, see if you can catch it.
I'm just thankful he didn't throw it at Justin's face. I'm not sure he'd have been able to move the glove. So Jackson at first. The leadoff man is on. Last time the Tigers had that, it was Cabrera getting the leadoff walk in the 5th. Bunted in the air. And Morneau to Hudson, and he can't catch the ball. And the Twins are having all sorts of trouble on Detroit bunts. They didn't make a play at all on the Santiago bunt in the first inning, and here an out should have been recorded and isn't.
Well, Gardy's going to come out and make a pitching change. Santiago, for the second time, bunts it toward first base. And see Justin right there picking up Hudson at first base. But Hudson lets that ball hit his glove and get away.
A rough start to the 7th, and Liriano leads. For the Quest high-speed pitch, brought to you by Quest High-Speed Internet.
Well, Bonderman at 93, Francisco Liriano 6+ innings at 95 miles an hour. Santiago, when he bunted that ball, he'll be credited with a sacrifice bunt, and then the error was charged to Hudson. The second baseman brings in Matt Guerrero with a couple runners on, nobody out. Matt making his 35th relief appearance. He worked in yesterday's ball game through 16 pitches in a shutout inning, 14 for strikes in the 6-0 loss to the Mets.
See if Rayburn's asked to bunt here.
Yeah, see, I thought he was going to bunt in the first inning. Instead, he was swinging away and hit that base hit up the middle.
Into left field, a base hit, and Jackson will fly around third and come in to score, and the Tigers get a big insurance run. Well, Jim Leyland figuring, look, he's my third place hitter. I'm going to let him swing away like a number 3 hitter.
And he's done it twice. A single in his first at bat right there, jumping on the first pitch from Matt Guerrero and hitting it past the diving Kadire at third base in the left field. So Jackson scores for the 3rd time in a ball game, and it's a 6-4 Detroit lead.
And the Tigers hoping to build a 7th inning like they did in the first. Here's Cabrera, 2-run double in that 4-run first inning. Goes after a pitch about a foot inside, chops it foul.
Go inside, and Cabrera just opening up quickly and fouling it. The ball actually through his legs.
1 strike. Up and away, 1-1. The Twins have hit into 3 double plays. The Tigers have hit into 1. And if ever the Twins wanted to draw the joker here and try to call for a double play ball, this would probably be it.
Well, Cabrera leads the Tigers in with 11 double plays he's hit into. Also leading the American League with 66 RBIs.
Yeah. Two and 1. Guerrero to Cabrera. And Mauer to the mound. You know, you approach a series and the teams have meetings. We don't want this guy to beat us. Here's what we want to do. We want to make sure we get the guys out in front of the likes of Cabrera. And the Tigers probably said the same thing about Mauer and Morneau. And it's just odd that the Twins, so fundamentally sound, have had such a terrible time with bunts. You had a hit bunt, a batter, and a bunt in the first inning that congested the bases in front of them. And now here in the 7th, a couple of bunts.
Well, I think, did he go too far? Yes. Scott Berry, the first base umpire. Well, you know, we have to credit the Tigers because all 3 bunts were pushed toward first base.
Right.
And Liriano, again, you know, his momentum kind of takes him over there toward the third base side. So it kind of left that open.
2-2 to Cabrera. And he doesn't bite on the breaking pitch. It's a full count. Nobody out here, and the Twins can ill afford to keep dropping back farther from the Tigers. They've climbed back to within 1, and now the Tigers have added another one here in the 7th.
Well, Matt has had good luck against Cabrera so far. Cabrera just 1 for 12.
Big strikeout for the first out of the inning.
A good breaking ball right there, and Cabrera strikeout victim.
Mountain Dew game summary.
Well, with Miguel Cabrera with bases loaded in the first inning, took a slider down and hit it off the wall, scored a couple runs for the Tigers. But for the Twins, it was Jim Thome with a rare triple. An RBI triple, and then in the 6th inning, taking a Bonderman pitch the other way.
Now Bosch, who backed up Cabrera's 2-run double in the first with one of his own, and hit a fly ball to right, and then Hudson turned in a nice play to throw him out in the 5th. Heading back our way. At the window of the Detroit TV booth.
I think it did.
All right. Mario Impemba,
yeah.
and
nice catch, Mario.
Rod Allen. Is Mario trying to exchange it for a beer? No, he's just giving it to a fan. That's the first one I think we've had up here in the broadcast level.
A young lady carrying a baby. Very nice.
That will reach back into the seats. 2 strikes. Brennan Bosch having a great rookie season, forcing the Tigers to change their plans with Carlos Guillen. Another one heading back to the press box.
Well, he's a big kid too, 6'6", about 210. Been signed by the Tigers in 2006.
First time in here, he hit one of the longest home runs in this ballpark. Right center field.
Yeah, last year he played at Double-A. He did hit 28 home runs, drove in 93 runs, and hit 275 at the Double-A level. Started this season in Toledo, getting called up in late April.
And Guerrero gets him to wave at one for the second strikeout in a row.
Well, good pitch right there underneath that swing of the 6'6" Brendan Bosch. Let's take a look right here, up in the zone, and then looked like the slider right there, and Bosch swinging through it. So Guerrero picks up a couple big strikeouts.
And now Guillen, who struck out his last time up. In the bottom of the 8th in Kansas City, with the Royals leading the White Sox 3-1. Cleveland beat Toronto 2-1. Popped up, short left. Punto calling for it. Inning over. A run for the Tigers. They now lead by 2. It'll be Orlando Hudson leading things off in the 7th. Soft drink comes in a Justin Morneau cup. McDonald's, I'm loving it. By Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today to take advantage of special summer savings on Toyota's full lineup of dependable vehicles. And by Quest high-speed internet. Get blazing fast speeds that won't burn up your wallet. And you can still vote for who you think will be the Arby's value player of the game tonight. Text the word value followed by a space and the player's name to short code 234. 234. Jim Thome, on the strength of a walk, a triple, and a home run, is leading the balloting.
And he should be having a very good offensive night. Justin Morneau with a couple hits right behind Jim Thome.
Orlando Hudson will lead things off against the new Detroit pitcher, and it's the lefty who has done the best for Detroit out of the pen, Phil Koch.
Yeah, Brad Thomas 4-0 out of that bullpen. Phil Koch 5-0 out of the bullpen. 2.90 ERA, making his 36th relief appearance. 12 walks, 1 intentional in 31 innings with 23 strikeouts.
Outside, ball 1. Facing the switch hitter Hudson, then Mauer, Morneau, and Kubel. 3 lefties in a row, and that's Well, we mentioned it before with Bonderman going a right-handed starter, Ron Gardenhire going with the 3 lefties in the middle of the lineup, but now Koch will be asked to face Hudson and then 3 consecutive lefties. There's a drive to right field, down for a hit.
Well,
so the leadoff man is on, and here comes Mauer.
Yeah, Hudson picking up his second hit of the ball game.
You can ask a question or send a comment online at carsoup.com/baseball. Barbara Tetch of Little Canada wondering, Bert, did it bother you if your first baseman chatted with a player that just got a hit off of you?
No, actually, being a right-handed pitcher, I never saw him anyway, so they can talk all they want. It's my mistake for letting that runner get on, so he can have a conversation with my first baseman.
Koch to Mauer. Mauer last year, when Koch was a member of the Yankees, hit 2 home runs against him. Both at Yankee Stadium. Inside a ball.
I guess I would be upset if I kind of looked over and they were both laughing at me and pointing at me. Boy, is that guy easy to hit. Too bad you don't get to hit against this guy. He's easy. And there's a guy that would talk to anybody right there, Orlando Hudson. He'll even go back and talk to Cabrera. He's probably talking to him when he's right now.
Mauer takes a strike on a breaking pitch. Doesn't care for the call. 1-1.
Yeah, Koch has a fastball in the low 90s, a big sweeping breaking ball, and a changeup. In his first season with the Tigers, couple years with the Yankees.
One and one. Comes inside with a fastball and gets a swing and a miss.
Yeah, fastball clocked at 94 here at Target Field. Koch, 27 years old, signed by the Yankees in 2002. And traded over in a 3-team trade over the winter between the Yankees, Tigers, and the Diamondbacks.
He's trying to build off a leadoff single from Orlando Hudson. High fly, left center field, playable for Jackson. 1 away.
Well, one thing you do have in this series, young Austin Jackson and Denard Span, you have 2 center fielders that can cover a lot of ground out there.
Morneau with a walk and a pair of singles, and Morneau homered against Koch last year at Yankee Stadium. High and tight. Like the Twins have had about a dozen at bats, not that many, but there have been a lot of them where the batter represents the tying run. Mauer just had one of those. Morneau. Fouled away. 1-1. Bobby C. filled this role for a couple of years for the Tigers, and now Phil Koch coming in to pitch late in the game to the tough lefties.
Yeah, Justin has 15 home runs. 4 of those 15 have come against left-handed pitchers this year.
1-1 to Morneau. 1-2.
Good hard breaking ball right there by Koch. Good location down. With a hard breaking ball, and that's where you want to throw it, just on the other side of home plate.
Two and two. 2 2. 3 times in the ballgame Morneau has reached. And 3 times the guy behind him, Kubel, has ended the inning with a ground ball. And Jason hoping for a chance here in the 7th. Low throw. Hudson to second. And on a night when the Twins have already wrapped into 3 double plays, that might be an awfully big error.
Yeah, for some reason, Coke kind of was thrown over there and just nonchalantly just kind of threw that ball into the ground. And Cabrera unable to get it. Watch this throw right here. Throws it in front of Cabrera. He can't pick it. And Coke going, oh, made a mistake. His first year. He'll be charged with an error, allowing Hudson to go to second.
And now with first base open, we'll see how cautious they are with Morneau. Coke with a mistake on a throw to first. Morneau hoping he makes a mistake on a pitch to home plate. Foul back. 2-2. Even from the left side, the Tigers have some hard throwers. Coke getting it consistently into the mid-90s. Another 2-2. A foul tip.
Boy, that ball was almost by him right there, and Justin just got a piece of it to keep the bat going.
Challenging him with a couple of mid-90s fastballs. Two and two. On a breaking ball, and Morneau tapped it foul.
Laird going out to talk to Coke what they want to throw here. Joel Zamaya, the hard-throwing right-hander, up in the bullpen.
Hudson at second. A hit to the outfield could draw the Twins to within 1. Another 2-2. Right down the middle. And out number 2.
Well, Justin had to be looking for something else. I was watching the catcher Laird move inside, then he moved away. And then that pitch right there freezes Justin for strike 3.
And another chance for Kubel. His 4th plate appearance where he has represented the tying run. He has bounced into a double play twice and then bounced out to Santiago at second. And a breaking ball. Jason thought it was up and in, and it's called a strike.
Well, the big sweeping slider.
Back to the mound. When you think of home runs over the last 3-4 years, dramatic home runs, the name Jason Kubel comes to mind for the Twins. More than Bauer, more than Morneau, Kadire. In late innings, it just seems like Jason's the guy the Twins would want at the plate. He's had a very frustrating night tonight in his first 3 plate appearances.
He's had a tough time getting that ball in the air.
1 strike to Kubel. And now a ball. In all likelihood, this would be the last guy Coke would be asked to get here, with Zamaya warming up and a right-handed batter, Kadire, due up next.
I mentioned earlier that Kubel has 10 home runs. 6 of them have been hit here. at Target Field. 2 against left-handed pitchers.
At the knees, 1-2. Kubel goes for a little stroll. One and two. Just off the plate, 2-2.
Well, he showed you the first pitch up in the zone, and that last pitch just off the corner.
Two to Jason Kubel. That's to right field and down for a hit. Kubel comes through, and it's a 1-run game. Not a home run, but an awfully important 2-out hit.
Well, Koch left the pitch up right there, and Kubel, through the frustration of the first 3 at-bats, doesn't let him affect him in this at-bat. The breaking ball left up, and Kubel lines it into right center for an RBI base hit. Kubel picking up his 42nd run driven in.
And Jim Leyland's going to come to the mound with Koch getting 2 outs and giving up 2 hits and a run so far. To the season and setting an American League record by going 10-0 to start his career. That's our Farmers Insurance Twins true story for tonight. And now Joel Zamaya will try to get the final out of the 7th inning, and then in all likelihood the 3 outs in the 8th.
Well, Zamaya, the hard-throwing right-hander, making his 31st relief appearance, 34 strikeouts in 37 2/3 innings.
Had a rough outing his last time out against the Braves. Gave up 3 runs. They say he is throwing almost exclusively just his 98-plus fastball. And Kadire drives it deep to right, but it's going to be a foul ball. Now, when you can throw that hard, you can get away with it, but when you throw it over the middle of the plate as he did the other night, it's going to get hit hard.
Well, he reminds me a little bit of Troy Percival when Percival was a save guy for the Angels. I mean, he would just come in and throw gas. But then when he was able to get that breaking ball over, I mean, he was even more nasty.
Tying run at first, 2 away. 1 strike to Kadire. Zamaya's had at times a A little bit of a breaking ball and a straight change, but absent command of those pitches, he's relied almost exclusively, they say, on his fastball. Drilled to center, right at Jackson. Kadire has hit 2 rockets to the outfield. One caught by Rayburn, and this one by Jackson. Visit your local Lincoln Mercury dealer or go to experiencelm.com. And by AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. Well, Matt Guerrero did a great job in the 7th inning, and now he'll pitch to Brandon Inge to start the 8th. The 7th inning looked like it was going to completely blow up in the faces of the Twins as the first inning did, but Guerrero came in, gave up the RBI hit to Rayburn, but then struck out Cabrera, Bosch, and got Ian.
Yeah, good job at damage control.
So the Twins are back within 1, and they desperately need to put a 0 up here in the 8th. Inge, Laird, and Worth, bottom third of the Tiger batting order. Royals beat the White Sox 3-1 in Kansas City. So the White Sox, who had the long winning streak, have now lost back-to-back games. One and two. And that flipped up into the second level of seats here at Target Field. Light schedule in the American League. All 5 teams in the American League Central playing. Cleveland beat Toronto 2-1, and just gave you the Royals score 3-1 over Chicago. And Guerrero with another strikeout.
Yeah, his third of the ball game.
If you missed out on the first Twins tradition wall at Target Field, you've got a second opportunity. You can have your name or your family name etched permanently on the Target Plaza by participating in the second tradition wall program. The first wall sold out last summer. You can visit twinsbaseball.com or call 877-TWIN-WALL to purchase your place on the Twins tradition wall. Here's Gerald Laird. A couple of ground balls to second. One of them turned into a double play and a strikeout. You know, one of the silver linings, I guess, of the road trip where the Twins starting pitching was, outside of Carl Pavano, pretty dreadful. The Twins bullpen wasn't exhausted. It started, the road trip did, with 2 starters, each giving the Twins 5 outs. And yet by the end of the road trip, guys like Guerrero, Crane, Roush, And the Dunsing weren't beaten to a pulp. Here's a drive to deep left field. Gone. A home run for Gerald Laird, his second of the year, and the Tigers lead by 2.
Well, Matt left a fastball in, and Laird did not miss it, just over the fence in left field. And it's a 7-5 lead. Laird, who's had a frustrating year offensively, jumping all over that fastball.
So it's back to a 2-run lead, and here's Danny Worth. Only been one time today where the Twins have scored, and the Tigers haven't answered with a run in their next opportunity. That one skips under Hudson's glove and skitters into center field. Worth has his second hit.
Yeah, both of his hits have been to right field, but again, making good contact right there, Danny Worth, in his rookie season.
And now Jackson, who's reached 3 times. He was hit by a pitch. Jesse Crane warming up. A single in the second, and a run scored, and a bunt single that started the 7th, and another run scored. One of the problems the Tigers have had on this road trip, Jackson hasn't been getting on base much, and the usual number 2 hitter Johnny Damon has been struggling too. But tonight, Jackson's reached 3 times and scored 3 times. Santiago has reached all 4 times and scored once.
Worth, who stole his first major league base in the 4th inning, gets a throw over from Matt Guerrero.
That misses inside, 1-1. Jackson looking at Gene Lamont. One and one. Warno will chase it. So will Kubel, but it's back in the seats. Twins have been in first place since the 2nd day of the season. And the lead has varied from a half game to 4.5 games. The Tigers have always been the 2nd place team. And that can change tonight if the Tigers win this opening game. One and two. Didn't mean to, and a comebacker to the mound. Guerrero goes to first, and on the play, Worth goes to second. A 4-run first, and then plenty of opportunities for the Twins, but they haven't been able to cash in.
Well, you know what? You get runners on, and you hit the ball sharply. Sometimes double plays are going to happen. Kubel has hit into 2 of them here. And then in Span in the 4th inning hit into a double play. That double play has been a nemesis for the Minnesota Twins this year. They lead the majors in most double plays hit into.
Twins will try to get Santiago out here. He's been a real pain in the neck here with 4 times on base. He takes a strike. His bunt single in the first really gave Liriano all sorts of trouble because the next 4 batters got hits to the outfield. Then another base hit in the second, a walk in the 4th, and then Twins couldn't get an out when Santiago was just trying to sacrifice bunt. Swing and a miss, 2 strikes. And that was a big insurance run for the Tigers in the 7th, and they've added another one here in the 8th. Two strikes to the Detroit second baseman, who wasn't even in the starting lineup. First posted by Jim Leyland. Fouled back. Two strikes to Ramon Santiago. And another foul. But 5 rows back from where the last pitch.
Yeah, you have to be careful. That one first foul ball hit a guy deflected into his nose.
So Guerrero trying to finish off the Tigers here in the 8th. Hudson with the play, and that ends the inning. But a Gerald Laird home run has increased Detroit's lead to 2. The only home run for the Twins tonight off the bat of Jim Thome, and he'll lead off. And again, the first left-handed batter to hit an opposite field home run here. He'll face Joel Zamaya. Then it'll be Delman Young and Nick Punto. 9th inning, of course, is Jose Valverde's territory. Thome with a walk, a triple scoring a run, a home run. And he takes inside ball 1.
Well, Zamaya's only given up 1 home run on the year in 37 and now 38 innings pitched.
Full infield shift on for Thome, with Worth, the second baseman, swung around on the first base side of second.
I think it's important for the Tigers to keep this guy healthy. You know, he really hasn't been healthy over the last 3 years. Had little injuries, some surgeries.
Popped up, it'll reach the seats, 1 and 2. First time the Twins have thrown out this lineup with Thome hitting 7th and Young 8th. Valverde picking out a baseball to get loose with. One and two. Ooh, nearly hit him at 99 miles per hour.
I always say, you try to make that hitter move their feet. At 99 miles an hour, you better move your feet.
I don't believe we've seen an off-speed pitch. I believe since he's come into the game, every pitch has been the fastball.
Right.
And now 3-2. It was Zamaya on the mound when a few years ago Justin Morneau hit the memorable home run, turning around a 99-mile-per-hour fastball for Morneau's 30th of the season. Just 11 walks issued by Zamaya in 38 innings. Grounded to Cabrera. One away. What's coming up on the postgame show, Robbie and Smikowski?
Oh, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We'll break down the Central Division showdown between the Twins and the Tigers on Quest Twins Live, featuring the Toyota postgame wrap. Caught stealing is our instructional. That man, Joe Mauer, threw out Miguel Cabrera at third base earlier in the ballgame. We'll take you through that. Plus, we'll bring you a reaction from Ron Gardenhire and Jim Leland, both managers of the ballgame tonight on Quest Twins Live. Dick?
Thank you, Robbie. Delman Young will hit. Singles his last 2 times up. In the dirt on an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, and that instructional, I have my son-in-law in town, and he's going to be the designated runner. This is what we're going to be talking about right here, how a catcher kind of goes behind a right-handed hitter to make that throw like Mauer did. This is the same son-in-law that tried to plow me over at home plate in the other instructional. So it'll be interesting to see how he reacts when he's the runner coming into third. I will be the third baseman.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Drop a knee down like Bobby Gretsch? Or?
They have to, yes.
3-0. And Zamaya, who nearly walked Thome.
Well, we were talking about wild pitches and the pitcher covering right here. And look at my son-in-law just trying to knock me over, but who won the battle? He's out.
Once again, you were left standing. 3-0 to Young. Twins down by a couple of runs.
Well, Delman's going to take a pitch right here. Make Zamaya throw a strike. And he does.
It was a 3-1 count to Thome, but Zamaya ended up getting him on a ground ball to Cabrera. And he sticks another upper 90s fastball over the plate. 3-2.
Yeah, Zamaya just 25 years old and his 5th season already with the Tigers.
Chop foul. And Zamaya has gotten hurt. And he's holding his troublesome right elbow.
Boy. Well, he's had a history of arm problems.
His right hand, as you can see,
right
quivering.
There.
Oh.
Boy, I hate to see this.
In extreme pain.
Ooh.
And the Tigers, who had Maglio Ordonez scratched from their initial lineup because of a batting practice injury, now maybe dealt a more serious injury here in the 8th inning. And Rick Knapp being dispatched back to the dugout. They'll get somebody else warmed up.
Well, let's take a look right here after the pitch right there. Zamaya just, oh boy. It looks like the elbow, the way he grabbed his right elbow.
And everyone concerned about Joel Zamaya, and you just no sooner said that the Tigers need to keep him healthy.
Yeah. Oh boy. Boy, that gives me goosebumps right there.
And sadly, one of the best relief pitchers in the game has got to come out of this game with an apparent serious arm injury.
Pitchers to throw underhand. That's a very unusual delivery to throw over the top, but my goodness. Oh boy, I tell you what, Justin Verlander, everybody concerned about Joel Zamaya.
Now, we saw in spring training Joe Nathan blow his elbow out, and Nathan didn't come off the mound with nearly that much pain and agony. And you see something like that, you think of Dave Dravecky, who broke his arm.
Yeah, Tom Browning, the same thing when he's with the Reds.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we hope nothing but the best for Joel Zamaya. And if we get word as to what exactly the injury is, of course, we'll pass it along.
Maybe the post game, by the time post game is on, they'll update from Jim Leland.
Well, now the continuation of the Young at bat. One away in the eighth, 3-2 the count. Jose Valverde's been very, very good for the Tigers. And he gets Young for out number 2. So Valverde, who's had so many 1, 2, 3 saves, is going to be asked to get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 save.
Well, Valverde in his first season last year with the Houston Astros. 184 career saves in his career that spanned from the Diamondbacks to the Astros, now here in Detroit.
Here's Punto, a foul fly and a couple of fielder's choices, and he takes strike 1. To put it another way, Valverde's been the anti-Fernando Rodney, who was very successful last year as a closer, but it seemed like he forever was dealing with men on base. Valverde has been so efficient that the Tigers feel very blessed to have gotten him. and he's had some of the least adventurous saves they've seen in quite some time.
He signed a 2-year contract with the Tigers over the winter with an option for 2012.
Teams are hitting 107 against him, and he's gotten Punto in an 0-2 hole.
A very good split finger. There's a fastball right there, clocked at 95.
There's 12 walks in 32 2/3 innings.
He led the National League in saves in 2007 when he was with the Arizona Diamondbacks with 47. Then the next year, 44 in his first season with the Houston Astros.
1-2 to Punto. Crack foul.
Valverde, 32 years old, from the Dominican Republic, signed by the Diamondbacks back in 1997.
One and 2 to Punto with 2 gone in the Twins' 8th. Another foul.
Well, since May, you can see how he has done in that bullpen. He has been outstanding.
He's only been scored on in 2 games. And he's pitching in his 34th game. The Twins got to try to find a way to get a couple of runs against him. 1-2. There's a high fly to right center field. Bosch with the catch, and the inning ends. Joel Zamaya leaves because of an injury, and we go to the 9th with the Tigers up by a pair. Sadly, appear to have lost Joel Zamaya. He left the game in the 8th with a apparent arm injury. And so we go to the 9th with Jesse Crain coming in to pitch for the Twins.
Yeah, Jesse coming in, making his 32nd relief appearance. 30 2/3 innings so far for Jesse. 11 walks, 2 intentional with 24 strikeouts.
Rayburn, Cabrera, and Bosch to face Crain in the 9th. And then in the bottom of the inning, Span, Hudson, and Mauer against Valverde. And a good fastball and a swinging strike. Rayburn with a pair of hits and a pair of runs batted in. Again, he's in the game, or hitting third, I should say, because of a batting practice injury by Maglio Ordonez. Now, I did not see that injury, and I think you were watching Detroit's batting practice.
Well, he's been having problem with a rib cage, and I think during batting practice he re-aggravated it. So.
One and two, so it's been a tough night for the Tigers, even though they've led all night long, and are 3 outs away from moving into first place in the division. Rayburn, and then Cabrera and Bosch. And Crane on a breaking pitch gets his first strikeout.
Well, one thing we have seen from Jesse Crane, he's gotten a lot better as the season gone on. Over his last 15 appearances since May 20th, Jesse has posted just a 1.23 earned run average. Going to the breaking ball right here and picking up a strikeout.
Cabrera with a 2-run double in the first, since then a walk and a pair of strikeouts. Driven to right and hit hard. And that'll get to the fence. Span flips it back in. Cabrera has his second double.
One thing about Cabrera, great hitter, he just uses the whole field, and we've seen a lot of his power go that way. In the first series here, he hit the home run that way over the scoreboard. Here he takes a pitch and just hits it sharply into right center. For Cabrera, his 22nd double of the year.
Fourth extra base hit for the Tigers. The Twins have 3 of them. And here's Brennan Bosch. I think the fans are still in a state of shock over Joel Zamaya. If the Twins rally in the bottom of the ninth, they'll get back into it. But when you're a player, when you're out there on the field, and somebody suffered a serious injury, how do players react?
Well, I mean, first of all, your heart falls, for that player. You react in a way that you normally would when somebody's hurt. You just don't know how to handle it. You just hope and pray that, the reports are positive for him. But boy, it sure looks like, it looked like the elbow when he was down on the ground, he grabbed his elbow. And of course, with that type of pain that he was showing, you're thinking, maybe he ripped that, the muscle off the bone.
1-1 to Bosch.
I know when I did mine when I was with the Indians, I threw a pitch and I could hear a pop and it popped off. And, you feel sorry for the individual.
Valverde handled a difficult situation very professionally. He inherited a full count. He struck out Young on one pitch and eventually got Punto. Foul back.
Well, again, to throw a baseball is very unorthodox anyway, from that delivery over your head. A human being, we're like softball. That's a natural motion for your arm. So you put so much pressure on your shoulder, and then when you release the ball, especially like a Zamaya that can get that fastball in the low 100s, my goodness. Everything just exploded probably in that elbow area.
2-2 to Bosch.
Just ugly to see.
And a curve hit back to the net. I don't know if he has, Bosch, a 2-strike swing. Every time he's up there, at least in the handful of games we've seen him, he's up there to cream the ball.
I tell you what, see if Jesse can get that breaking ball down and in. That's how Matt Guerrero struck him out in the 7th inning. Put that curveball down and in.
2-2. And another foul.
Very quick hands. Nice grab by that fan. Got the Carl Pavano mustache.
So Crane will try again on 2-2. And another foul ball into the seats.
Well, we were told by the truck that looks like Frank Viola right there.
It does?
That couldn't have been Frank Viola. The guy caught it. Come on, go to that breaking ball down and in. Just show me. There you go. But get it down a little bit.
Crane getting worn out here by Bosch. Leading all rookies with 12 home runs. He's homered in 7 straight series, and now Rick Anderson to the mound, along with Joe Mauer. You know, all the talk about the featured rookies, and there was some preseason publicity about Austin Jackson, but that ramped up over the course of the first month of the season. Bosch has established himself as maybe the best rookie in both leagues. Jason Hayward of the Atlanta Braves getting all the preseason hype, and Bosch has outdone him, and now Hayward might be out for a while with an injury.
Well, a lot of talk in Detroit. Maybe Bosch should make the All-Star team along with Jackson and
Cabrera.
And oh yeah, I mean, I'm talking about rookies.
Oh, okay, all right, sure.
Steven Strasburg, who pitched tonight, I believe they are talking about him maybe going to the All-Star team. But to me, you still have to earn it. And Bosch is off to a great start, but you got to earn something like that. Just not because you've had a couple good months at the major leagues.
I agree with you 100%, but I will be stunned if Steven Strasburg isn't on the National League All-Star team. I think there'll be so much pressure to put him on the team. He has, in the pitching side of things, been the talk of baseball since Ubaldo Jimenez is off to a great start. It'd be Jimenez and Strasburg.
Well, I know that he pitched tonight against the Braves, and Atlanta beat the Nationals 5-0.
Finally, Bosch succumbs to away.
Well, the last 2 pitches, Rick Anderson went out there. They were the curveball. So maybe Anderson said, you know what, let's try something softer on him. And a good curveball right there gets Jesse Crane a second strikeout. Because the previous pitch was a curveball that he fouled off.
Ian will be walked here with Brandon Inge due up next. So we can talk more and more about the Twins and how they've had a number of great opportunities to get back into the game, but the Tigers, even though they've added a couple of runs, they've left a lot of meat on the bone here too in this game.
Yes, they have.
Start the 4th of July weekend with a bang, literally following the Twins and Tampa Bay game this Friday. Fireworks will be in order and viewable from outside the ballpark in downtown Minneapolis. To check on availability for tickets on the 4th of July weekend against the Rays or any of the remaining dates in the 2010 schedule, call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com. Brandon Inge hitting first and second to away.
I'm looking forward to Friday night to see the fireworks. It'll be one heck of a display.
And this reminder too, on Wednesday, the final game of this series, it was not on anybody's television schedule, but within the last few days, that game and some others have been added to the schedule. So we are going to be televising the series finale here on Wednesday. Popped up back into the seats. The bottom line for Twins fans, virtually every game, if not every game from here on out, will be televised. So if you have the pocket schedules, refrigerator magnet schedules, what have you, and if you see a game that's not scheduled to be televised, the way it looks now, just about every game or every game will be televised the rest of the way here. Good. 1-1 to end. Good. Foul back 1-2.
And just to finish that thought on Steven Strasburg, he did lose tonight 5-0 to the Braves. He worked 6 in the third innings. Gave up 3 earned runs, a couple walks with 7 strikeouts.
Quality start. And another sellout crowd here trying to encourage Jesse Crain to get through this top of the 9th inning. 1-2 to Brandon Inge. High pop-up right side, and the off-speed stuff ends up getting Crain out of the inning. Tigers strand a couple. Twins need to score a couple in the bottom of the inning. Led ever since.
Yeah, the Twins just had a tough time coming back from that 4-run deficit. Liriano gave up in that first inning, but hopefully they can do something here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Top of the order due up. Span, Hudson, and Mauer facing Valverde, who they've never seen much of course. And Valverde did come into an unusual spot with Zamaya's injury. And with a full count, threw a strike to Young, got the strikeout, and eventually got Punto. Don Kelly in left field replacing Rayburn. And the Twins need to get the leadoff man on here, Denard Span. And the first pitch strike. Zamaya, of course, a power pitcher, and Valverde throws almost as hard, but the ball just seems to come out of his hand so easily. 1-1.
Oh, he opens up very quickly. That's that split finger right there. Good fastball in the mid-90s. And then the split finger, he'll add a slider and then an occasional changeup, but more that split finger.
The only time Span has faced Valverde earlier this year, Valverde walked him.
Yeah, you can see him right there with that split finger already set.
Showing bunt and taking a fastball for ball 2.
And that's the fastball. Again, a lot of guys that throw the split finger, because you have to open up your fingers and put that ball in there, they'll start that way. Valverde will go to the glove, kind of force that ball in there. There you go. And he'll see him kind of open up those fingers. And then if he throws something else, now he'll change it in the glove.
2-2 to Span.
Rally caps are out. There's a better look at that splitter.
And Valverde strikes out Span, one away.
Well, this is a split finger right there. You see the ball just kind of drop. Well, might have been a slider, though, too. Anyway, something inside. So Valverde picks up his second strikeout.
Now Hudson. Down and in, ball one. Hudson on the night, a double off the wall in right in the first inning, and then he singled and eventually scored on what turned out to be a pretty costly error by Phil Toke. 1-1.
Now Valverde and Hudson were teammates in Houston, Arizona, 2006 and 2007. So he's had a chance to play behind Valverde.
Foul back, and it's 1-2. Last year, Fernando Rodney missed only one save opportunity all year long for the Tigers, with walks, hits. Jim Leyland, a longtime smoker, but if he wasn't, I think Fernando Rodney would have made him a smoker. This guy's just been very, very efficient. And he strikes out Hudson, 2 down.
He struck out 3 of the 4 batters he's faced so far. I believe this was the split finger right here. That's a hard split finger. Good drop on that ball.
Well, Mauer trying to keep the game and first place alive for the Twins. They've been in first place since April 6th. And Valverde 1 out away from pitching the Tigers to the top spot in the division. Inside a ball. Mauer is 0 for 2. He is driven in a run with a sacrifice fly and a walk. One and 0 to Mauer. That looks like it's so slow, but it's still 87 miles per hour. And now 2-1. Mauer's faced Valverde 4 times and is still looking for his first hit.
A good time for it right here. Get Justin up.
And another splitter, 2-2. 2-2. Twins down to their last strike. Mauer, the